Hello everybody and welcome back to another installment of Mr. Eric Reads. As you can see, rocking the solid shirt of my friend Grover, and you turned another page! That Mrs. Eric Reads found for both me and Barrett, so we're both rocking them today, and I wanted to show it off because I like the shirt a lot. But today's book is actually by Ellen Weiss and Mel Friedman, and it's called The Stinky Giant? Well, either way, stinky or not, we got a book to read. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this tale right here on Mr. Eric Reads. A long time ago, a brother and sister lived in a beautiful valley. The sister's name was Pepper, and the brother's name was Jake. They had a happy life. Every day, they sang songs and watched their sheep. They only had one problem. The problem's name was Irk. Irk was a huge, mean giant. He was rude. He was ugly. And when Irk burped, it sounded like thunder. And when he sneezed, it blew houses away. Irk lived in a castle. It was way, way, way up on top of the mountain. Every Thursday, Irk washed his clothes. Irk's clothes were very big, so Irk's wash tub was very big too. When he was done washing his clothes, Irk emptied his wash tub, and the water came roaring down the mountain and made a huge flood. Sometimes things were swept away. Sometimes some of Pepper and Jake's sheep were lost. So Pepper and Jake had to walk way down the valley to get their sheep back. Pepper and Jake were tired of Irk and Irk's laundry. So one day, Jake fell into a big puddle of Irk's dirty wash water. And came out all stinky. That's it. We are going to talk to Irk, said Jake. They looked up at Irk's castle. It would be kind of hard to get there, but they knew they had to go. So they made some egg and salty pickle sandwiches, and they filled a goatskin bag with water. And they set out to climb Irk's mountain, and they climbed up, up, up. The higher they went, the colder it got. Their teeth chattered, their sweat froze. After a while, they got hungry. They stopped to eat their sandwiches. Their lunch made them thirsty, but the water in the goatskin was frozen solid. Finally, they arrived at the castle, and they banged hard on the door. The door swung open. There, sitting at his table, was Irk, having a gigantic bowl of smelly soup. "Well," said the giant, "what do you want?" "We want you to stop flooding us with your dirty wash water," said Pepper. The giant's laughter boomed across the room, but Jake and Pepper scowled at him, so he would know how serious they were. Irk just kept laughing. "Okay," Irk finally said. "I have an idea. We giants have a secret riddle. No one has been able to answer it. If you can't answer the riddle, I will boil you for soup, and I will throw your sheep in too. But if you can answer it, I lose. I will move away." Well, where will you move to? Asked Pepper. You can pick, because I can't lose, said Eric. Jake pointed to the map. Here, he said, and they shook on it. Eric gave them the riddle. There's something you see every day, and it is one thing, but also 3 things. I will give you 3 days to come up with your answer, shouted the giant. Now go home. Pepper and Jake went down the mountain. Look, said Pepper. The ice in the back has turned back to water. Jake was so thirsty, he drank half of the water. When they finally got home, they started thinking about the riddle. What could be one thing, but 3 things? They only had 3 days, or they would be Jake and Pepper and sheep soup. What about fish? Pepper said. First it's an egg, and then it's a fish, and that's all, said Jake. 2 things. On the second day, Jake had an idea. Peanut butter, he said. It's crunchy or it's creamy, and that's all, said Pepper. Then she said, what about a book? It's open or closed? But that was only 2 things. After that, they were so tired that they had to go to sleep, but they went to bed scared. If they didn't come up with an answer tomorrow, they would be soup. On the 3rd morning, Jake and Pepper were really worried. Today they had to go back to Irk, and they still had no answer. Let's have some dandelion tea, said Pepper. It will help us think. So Jake put the water in the kettle and put the kettle onto the boil. Pepper decided that she would have some iced tea. Soon the water was boiling. The kettle whistled. The steam came jetting out of the spout. Jake and Pepper looked at the steam. And then they looked at Pepper's ice. And then they looked at each other. Water, they said together. Water, like the stuff they used to make tea. Water, like the ice in Pepper's glass. And water, like the steam coming out of the kettle. They raced back up the mountain. They didn't even care that the water in their goatskin bag was turning to ice. And they didn't even care about Irk's steamy, stinky wash water. They had won. We figured it out, said Pepper. It's water, said Jake. Steam, ice, and liquid, but all water. Irk turned red. Then he turned purple. No, he shouted. You couldn't have figured that out. Nobody figures it out. But they had. Well, a deal is a deal. Irk would have to move to the horrible land of Hooey, where he would have to wash his clothes in the great smelly swamp. Irk hated it, but a deal was a deal. He left the very next day for the the horrible land of Hui. But he left his dirty socks behind. Ew. The end. That was Ellen Weiss and Mel Friedman's The Stinky Giant right here on Mr. Eric Reads. Hope you guys enjoyed that story. Come back again tomorrow. We'll have another tale for you. In the meantime, please stay safe and healthy. Please wash your hands, practice kindness in everything that you do, and read a book every day, like I do. And you can read another one too. You can just read and read and read. It's good for your brain. You've heard that before. Go enjoy the rest of your day. See you tomorrow.